All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream.
Welcome.
Make sure I'm unmuted. Everything's unmuted. All the technical stuff is done here. How's everybody doing on this lovely Tuesday evening? It is Tuesday, right? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this stream, right?
I've been up since 3:15 this morning.
What were you doing up so early? Work?
I had to work. I had to fill in.
Oh, work
on
stuff.
The morning show.
Oh gosh.
Fun times.
Fun times. I'm trying. I need to log into Twitch in order to reply via like typing. Like if I want to type something to Twitch. So, anyways. So, hello everybody. Welcome to the stream. We got some stuff to talk about tonight. News, theme park stuff. And at the end, maybe a little bit of pop culture. Spider-Verse trailer dropped today, which was absolutely amazing. So maybe we'll chit-chat about that for a few minutes later on. But as always, welcome. We're going to start things off with just kind of how our weeks were, if we did anything fun, anything like that. Usually we kind of start the stream off with a little bit of icebreaker conversations.
Well, weren't you and the family at Universal on Sunday?
Yeah, I took the kiddos and Cheryl to Universal on Saturday. Or was it Sunday?
Sunday. It was
Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday. My brain's going 1,000 miles an hour. Yeah, Sunday we went out to Universal about this time every year. Given it being the holidays and everything, I try to get some tickets together, reach out to some friends, or somehow, some way, and take the kids and take Cheryl out to Universal because they don't get to go a whole lot. Whereas me, I'm there, religiously, between Halloween Horror Nights and everything else. So yeah, we went out there Sunday and spent the day out at Studios, Islands. We did Islands first. Connor got on Hagrid's, which he absolutely loved. I mean, who doesn't love their first ride on Hagrid's? And what else did we do? Then we went over to Velocicoaster, and Connor was literally this far from being the 51 inches, I think it is, for Velocicoaster. 51, right?
I thought it's 52.
Is it 51 or 52? Anyways, he was at that height where I couldn't get my whole hand underneath his head. He was at the height stick, and I couldn't get my whole hand underneath his head. My hand went underneath it. Same with the Velocicoaster ride op that was there. He could get his hand under about halfway, and the crown of his head was stopping it from going through. So it was he was really close, and he decided not to go. He was nervous about it. It's so funny with him. He rode Cosmic Rewind. No issue.
Yeah.
And I think it's because he can't see it. Velocicoaster, he stands there and he sees it come off the top hat and go over, and then it does the inverted stall, and he's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good, Dad. No. So he was like, no, Dad.
Didn't Charlotte ride River Adventure for the first time?
Yes.
Why I should say she white-knuckled River Adventure for the first time.
For those of you that follow me on my personal Twitter, you saw my daughter, my little girl, Charlotte. Her first time on Jurassic Park River Adventure was apparently an unforgettable one for her. Because just the sheer look. We don't buy on-ride photos much anymore at all. But this one was we got to get this one. So we bought the digital copy. It was I think it was $20 for the digital copy. So that way we get it right away, and we shared it. And if you haven't seen it yet, I posted it on my personal Twitter. It's pretty funny. She just got this sheer terror. I got my arm around her. Cheryl was hold on to her on the drop. So I throw my arm around her, and she's holding, because the Jurassic Park River Adventure, the lap bars, it's almost got this curved thing to it, and she's holding on to it like this, and she just got this sheer look of terror. on her face. But she wanted to go on it. I'm not that parent that's going to force my kid to go on, force them to go on any rides they don't want to go on. Like Connor with Velocicoaster. He didn't want to go on it. So I was like, all right. I try to convince him. And everything that I've convinced Connor to go on that he was like about, he's loved. But he wasn't sold on Velocicoaster. He said next time, Dad. He was like, next time. He's like, he was like, next time. I'm good right now, Dad. But she wanted to go on River Adventure. I didn't force her to go on it or anything. And she was apparently terrified of it. So yeah, that was. And then we pretty much skipped through the rest of the park. We really didn't do a whole lot at Islands. I think we went on Spider-Man. Jordan finally got on Hulk, which he loved. I rode, which I regretted. I'm getting too old for that ride. Even when they completely retracted it, it's still shaky. It's so
I don't know
shaky
if it's
still.
I don't know if it's from adding the soundtrack, the extra weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's or just the fact that they replaced the track, but they didn't replace the footers.
Yeah. That was probably the first time I had ridden it, and probably since it reopened from the retrack.
Yeah,
it's been a couple years since I've ridden it.
I won't ride it whenever it's hot anymore, because that queue is a hellish nightmare.
Oh,
it's I to this day, I know I probably rambled on this before. I to this day don't understand why they didn't fix the airflow problem in that thing when they redid, because it's worse now than it was before.
So then we went over to Studios, and we pretty much. There were two things that we had to do because Charlotte was tall enough. That's the thing, is Charlotte's still 40. The magic number at Universal is 48 inches. Once you hit 48 inches, you're pretty much good for everything except Velocicoaster and I think Rocket. So Charlotte was, since her last visit, she was tall enough for Connor too, Men in Black Alien Attack, and she was tall enough for Gringotts. So those were on our high, to do priority list. And so we went back and we did Men in Black, and Charlotte was so sad because I didn't think it was possible to get 0 on that ride, and Charlotte got 0 points. So she was like so sad. She was like almost on the verge of like crying. She was like, I got 0. And I felt so bad because I looked down. Jordan and I were in the back, and I looked down at hers, and sure enough, she had 0. I thought I don't think she was shooting her gun. I think as long as you shoot your gun, you get points on it.
Yeah.
But I think the gun was a little bit too big for her small little, petite hands. So we did that, and then we went over and we did Gringotts, and everybody seemed to like Gringotts. I don't think we had any issues of terrified children on that. And then we kind of went every which way after that. Jordan wanted to go ride Rocket, so I let him go ride that. I was like, no, you have fun with that, Jordan, go. And he had his, he's at that age where he has a smartphone, so I was like, call me when you're done.
You're also like, I've already done my once a year ride on Rocket.
Yeah, with Rocket. I'm good, Jordan. Thanks, I appreciate it. And then I went to go get a spot for the parade, and we also tried some of the holiday food, the holiday crepe, which was really, really good.
Yeah.
That was really good. And then the that chocolate like pressed panini thing I got with the marshmallow, that was really good too. There's some really good holiday food out there at Universal Orlando. I actually put together a little article of some of our favorite holiday foods, and the snowflake vegan cookie over at Islands in the Croissant Moon Bakery, which is really good. For a vegan-friendly option, that's really good as well. My computer's making noises at me. So, but yeah, to wrap our little day out Universal up, I went and got a spot for the parade. Jordan went and rode Rocket, and Cheryl took Charlotte and Connor on Minions. They wanted to go ride Minions, so I went and got a spot for the parade, and that was pretty much it. So it was a fun day. Weather was perfect. It was nice and cool. It was overcast all day. It was a really nice day. So.
Oh no,
anyways.
it was perfect because at the same time you were at Universal, Son and I were at Disney's Animal Kingdom for Fall Dapper Day.
I always forget that there's a fall Dapper Day because what the other one's in spring, right?
The other one's in spring.
Yeah.
Normally, in the past, it's been in November, but they actually did it in December this year, which actually turned out to be nice because the weather was great and you weren't sweating like
Sweating bullets.
crazy,
Yeah. So
sweating
everybody gets
bullets,
dressed up for that, and everybody's
yeah.
wearing all those layers of clothes, and down
Yeah,
there
a
in
lot of
Florida.
people are in jackets and stuff. I mean, I just wore like I did my little Haunted Mansion bound with the Haunted Mansion fedora and the wallpaper tie and
called it a day.
stuff. And yeah, it was fun. It's a fun time at Animal Kingdom. Just walking around. We had dinner at Yak and Yeti, which is Tiffin's is the top restaurant in that park, and and it charges a top tier price. Yak and Yeti, the prices are a little bit better, and oh my god, they had actual menus there. So
did they
I almost didn't know what this thing was when they sat us down and they gave us a menu. It's like, what is this thing with words printed on it?
It was really interesting. I mean, I don't know what theme parks did and didn't keep it, but a lot of the areas decided to keep the QR thing.
It's not just theme parks; it's a lot of regular restaurants have put the QR codes.
I think Finnegan's, that one night you and I ate at Finnegan's.
Yeah,
they still had the They still had the QR code scan thing.
I know. I think with the Universal restaurants, if you need a menu, they
have them there.
They have them there. I don't know as much. Disney. Well, when we went to Trader Sam's at Disneyland, they did have a menu, a real menu.
Yeah,
but they also had the QR codes too. So, no, I mean it's animal. The amazing thing was it was the first time I've been in Animal Kingdom after dark in forever.
Yeah.
Because all this summer the park closed at like 8:00. So it was actually neat to walk through I can't even remember the last time I walked through Pandora after dark.
The whole reason it's there.
Yeah, I mean the whole reason it was there. Remember when they tried to keep Animal Kingdom open late till 10:00? Remember that? But no, I mean it was nice to walk through Pandora after dark because you forget how amazing the lighting is in there. And I guess what was it, a year or so ago they redid all the
they did the flooring, right? The glowing
floor.
They
redid all the flooring.
I remember
they bioluminescent
slop the glow in the dark spray paint or paint on the floor again.
Back on, so it looked really impressive. And Animal Kingdom's really pretty after dark anyway.
It's kind of like Islands of Adventure. It's one of those theme parks that's really pretty at night when the sun goes down. I mean, we've talked about this before. Theme parks at night are the epitome of going to a theme park at night, no matter which one it is. But like Islands and Animal Kingdom, there's that extra something there.
But I mean, it was that way with Islands for the first 10, 11 years. We hardly have ever got to see it after dark.
Yep.
Until Hogsmeade opened, and all of a sudden, it got busy. So now let's keep the park open past 6:00.
Yep, Islands has always been one of my favorite parks after when the sun goes down. So.
Not that Universal's been keeping their parks open late anyway lately.
I know.
But
I looked at Christmas week and they're open till 10 that week, and I'm like,
yeah. Well, I mean, don't even get you were there Sunday. They closed at 7:00.
Well, there was a Orlando Informer meetup. I think
another. Yeah,
I think that was the last weekend.
It's been amazing. I think people really have been pissed off about that this year.
Yeah. I think there was. I'm pretty sure there was one that was the last weekend for it. So.
And then also Saturday we went and checked out the Green and Red Coconut Club. But we had to wait till after a private event had ended. It way more decorations than the Dead Coconut Club.
It looks like it.
Really kitschy Halloween. There's some definite straight up antiques some of the decorations there are straight up antique.
Oh, some like antique Christmas decorations.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Really fun, and we since it was after 10, they had the DJ. But I mean, as soon as they opened that place, it was packed.
Yeah.
But it was a Saturday night. I like to go, hopefully back on one of these nights when it's not a private event. You can go early when they have the more theme appropriate music going on.
I forgot who, but somebody. I think it was Didi. He posted a video of him with like Backstreet Boys playing in the background or something.
Oh no, I mean it
was pretty funny. I was like,
the DJ didn't really bother me. I mean, he's just playing stuff that that everyone, there's a bunch of people out on the dance floor dancing.
Yeah.
That's what he's there for. And people were having fun. People were walking around looking at everything, but also at the same time, buying drinks and then dancing. So I mean, that's what the club is for. It's there for. It's like I know not everybody's happy about that, but
I mean, let's be real here. How many Christmas songs can you get out to on the dance floor?
Oh, I know.
And, like dance to. I mean, I've never done it. Maybe there are a lot.
And I hate we'll get to in a moment the thing that the dance club at CityWalk is no more. Because it's it's the escape room now.
Yeah.
And so it's and most of the CityWalk clubs anyway, after 10, either had a live band or had a DJ. So that hasn't changed at CityWalk. That's it's the same thing. It's you go. It depends on which place you go to. It's like. The Green and Red Coconut Club has a DJ. What Bob Marley usually has a band. Pat O'Brien's has the dueling pianos. Jimmy Buffett, I think, usually either has a DJ or has a band. So
Yeah, I see. Sometimes I'm out on the patio out there by the airplane.
Yeah, and then of course Rising Star on the weekends has a live band with the karaoke, which that's to me still one of the cool. I'm glad that hasn't left because that's still to me one of the coolest clubs.
Yeah,
is going there and seeing people do karaoke with the live band, which I've done once, but
I don't think I've ever been in there.
It's a fun time because it's like some people are awful, like any karaoke situation, but then you get someone up there and it's just like, oh my god. Mm-hmm. Couldn't believe how like amazing they are, and then having the live band is something that just adds a whole extra thing to it. I'm assuming they still do the live band. I think they still do it on the weekends.
Yeah. So,
but
all right, let's switch on over here too and dive into some news that we got to talk about really quick. Let me get back over here to my other screen. Where's my mouse? There it is. So
we definitely got a bunch of Universal news.
Yeah, it's a Universal heavy week for news. So, but we're gonna talk some coaster news, which we don't talk about a whole lot. Vekoma announced last week that the first Tilt Coaster 2.0 is coming to the U.S. and it's coming to the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. And this will be the first Tilt Coaster in the U.S. It'll feature. It'll be 131 feet high. It'll feature 0 G-roll airtime, inversions, bunny hops, all sorts of really cool stuff. I didn't know what this Circuit of Americas thing was in Texas. I had to go and look it up. Apparently, it's like a real raceway.
Yes.
And it was interesting. I can actually play the video here. I don't think you can hear it, but I'm going to mute the audio anyways. But yeah, no, it's really cool that we're going to be getting one of these tilt coasters stateside because I think the only other one is in what? Indonesia or somewhere overseas? I can't remember where.
Was it Indonesia or was it Taiwan?
Is it Taiwan? Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah. But it's like the only other one. So the fact that we're getting a tilt coaster here stateside is pretty cool. Cheryl has family over in Texas, so I may have to find an excuse to get out there and ride this thing because I've always wanted to ride one. They look like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's that. Tilt coaster coming to the U.S. What do you guys think about that? Let us know in the chat. Would you ride it?
I mean,
It'll be
I would,
called
but I'm
Circuit Breaker. That's the name of it.
I'm a coaster enthusiast, so yes, I will be riding.
Yeah, you're
Whether I ride it more than once, as I've gotten older, there's been less and less of riding
like
more
I said
than
with
one.
like I said with my ride on the Hulk, I was like, I'm getting too old for this stuff. But
Dude, steel coasters are starting to affect me sometimes in ways they never didn't used to.
Oh yeah, they are me too. I have no problem admitting I'm getting old.
But I can ride a wooden coaster over and over and over again.
That's so weird because you think it would be the opposite. Like you think a rickety wooden coaster would make you more the jerking around and the jerkiness would make you more nauseous, more
I think it's the inversions.
Yeah, inversions. Yeah. That'll do it. So, all right, moving on. Next, Wizarding World has some new wands that are now available. There are going to be 12 all-new wands, plus an additional wand for each of the theme park resorts. And I'm not going to go through and tell you all 12 new wands.
It's interesting that remember how like just sort of like there was only like what the wand was based on what your birth month was
Is that how it started?
Was it your birth month?
I remember.
And then now there's so many different wands, and the fact
Yeah.
that there's even I'm almost shocked that there's wands based on the resorts. I mean, that seems a little bit out of character for the Harry Potter merchandise, because usually they're so strict about like what can and can't be created. But maybe Warner Brothers is loosening up the approval process a little bit.
I'm not going to go over all 12 wands, but I will go over each of the one that's available at the specific theme park resort. Here in Florida, a Larch and Phoenix Feather wand is available at Universal Orlando Resort, which is this one up here at the top of our article.
So it's a specific kind of wand, I see.
Yeah, each one. This is the Larch and Phoenix Feather wand. You can see the box right there, the artwork. And then at Universal Studios Hollywood, it is a walnut and dragon heartstring wand, which is this one right here. And then at Universal Studios Japan's looks really cool. I like theirs.
It's a cherry.
Yeah, of course Japan gets all the cool stuff as usual.
Shocked. I'm shocked, let me tell you.
Japan's is a cherry and unicorn hair wand. So there's that one. And then at Universal Beijing Resort, there is a red oak and unicorn hair wand. So those are the ones that you can get at the 4 Universal theme park resorts.
So what I'm hearing is Universal is basically saying, unless you're a true Harry Potter fan, you need to go to all 4 resorts to get your unique wand.
To be the ultimate wand.
To be the ultimate wand Harry Potter fan.
Wand bearer. So
wand bearer.
And I believe Katie, who has contributed to ThrillGeek, she's working on an article on the other ones that are going to be available. So hopefully she'll have that done here for everyone to check out. But yeah, we have the 4 that you can get at the 4 Universal theme parks up on our website if you want to check those out. All right, moving on. Some interesting news was dropped over on the Universal Orlando pass holder Facebook group. The pass holder lounge is being moved over to Islands of Adventure. They announced this is what they posted in the Facebook group. They said, "Guess where we're moving? Hint: tune into UOAP on Facebook for updates."
Yeah, so they're moving to what I guess will now be the former Betty Boop store.
Yeah, it says also, "We Betty, you're gonna love it." Opening early 2023. So
now,
this was an interesting bit of news.
Why would they be moving the Universal Pass Holder Lounge? Let's see. And they closed the prop shop earlier this year. And then the other thing that's
the Hello Kitty store.
They closed the Hello Kitty store. I don't think that has more to do with this. But, the only thing in between the Pass Holder Lounge and the prop shop is the photo place, the stand in front of a green screen. Photo place.
Yeah.
So, what could they be doing there?
what I mean, I'm not playing stupid here. What does everybody think this is going to be? An Epic Universe
preview store, yeah,
or preview? I shouldn't say store, but an Epic Universe preview thing. Kind of like
remember, I went out. When I was out to California on my last day, I went to CityWalk, and they have a Super Nintendo World store there.
That's another thing that could be coming. They just opened up a popcorn cart at Hollywood too.
And remember, in Japan, before Super Nintendo World opened, their Hollywood Boulevard, they had a store, and they converted their Schwann's Pharmacy, which is our Ben and Jerry's ice cream parlor, to a little Nintendo cafe.
Yeah, it's like a little Nintendo cafe where you can get the not milkshakes, but yeah. Anyways, it's been an interesting several months with all this shifting around, with all these stores closing, the prop shop closing, now the pass holder lounge is closing, and like you said, it's not related, but the Hello Kitty store has also been closed. So
yeah, and then you're gonna have Kid Zone closing for.
That was the other thing that I forgot to mention during our little trip on Sunday was we paid our final respects because my kids aren't going to be there again until, probably this time again next year. We paid our final respects to the Curious George ball pit of insanity, and they had never done that. None of my kids had ever done that. We usually skip it. The furthest we would go over that area is maybe Fivel's Playland because they wanted to do the water slide. But they would go over. We finally went into Curious George, and I introduced them to the ball pit of insanity. So, rest in peace.
See, based on some of the things we've heard, whether the ball pit of insanity will still be there.
Yeah. So, kind of got off topic there. Where were we? Oh yeah. Yeah. With all this stuff closing, and we'll be also here in a minute talking about another announcement. So actually, let's move on to that. Well, no, let's talk escape rooms first. Universal's great movie Escape has officially opened up at Universal CityWalk, and we have not done it yet personally, but I've been kind of watching some other people's videos about it, and it sounds like it's a lot of fun. From the two of them, from what I'm getting the vibe from, is the Jurassic World one is a lot more difficult and more of like a true escape room.
Yeah.
And the Back to the Future one is a little more
apparently
I shouldn't say family friendly, but
family friendly, a little more story heavy.
Yeah, and it was confirmed that Christopher Lloyd did reprise his role as Doc, which was really cool.
Yeah.
That they got him to come back to do that. But I was watching. What was I watching? I think I was watching the Carly on the Attractions podcast. She was talking about her visit to it, and it sounds like they watch you. Like there's cameras in there, and apparently they can tweak it and change it to be more accommodating. Because you figure this is a theme park resort, and there's probably going to be kids going to this thing, and they're going to have to tweak it and change it to accommodate different difficulties, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, and I the other night when we were there, I walked in. We walked in just to sort of check it out because there is a bar in there.
Yeah, there's
with unique drinks that are only available there, and also you can go upstairs and hang out on the balcony.
This is a picture of kind of like the lobby area where you can kind of go in and before you go into the escape rooms.
The lobby is actually really nice, and it's a nice setup. There is merchandise too. There's like a shirt. I think there's a shirt, a hoodie, a hat.
I think there's a pin too, isn't there? I think I saw a pin somewhere.
And so it even has merchandise, which we're all about attraction-specific merchandise here.
Yeah, so we'll have to definitely get out there and check it out. I think it's like $300 for a complete buyout, like if you want to do like a whole group.
Yeah.
Tickets start at $49.99 per person. Yeah, it's right here. Party of $300 for a group of up to 8 people. If you want to get a group together and do that, and I think that's a little bit of a discount per person. I think that brings it down to
if you get out,
$40 a person if you do the $300 8-person group buyout. So yeah, no, it's really cool to see this at CityWalk. I mean, the Groove has been sitting there for how long? So this is obviously its replacement, and I think it's a cool fit. I'm excited to get out there and check it out. I'm a huge fan of escape rooms. It's from like I said, I was listening to Carly, and she was like, they're not your typical like stressed out, like you panic escape rooms. Yeah. It seems like they're a little more, you have a little more time to do things and enjoy it and that sort of thing. So, all right, moving on. We got the oops, what happened here? There we go. The biggest not surprise.
It definitely wasn't Universal's best kept secret.
Yeah, the worst kept secret. Illumination's VillainCon Minion Blast is coming to Universal Studios Florida next year in 2023. Obviously, it is the Shrek 4D replacement that's been under construction for quite some time now. Excuse me. It'll be how do I explain this? A shoot 'em up conveyor belt game where you using a conveyor belt or moving walkway. This is going to be interesting how this all works. It's I guess it's going to be kind of like the walkways, or not the walkways, but the best way to explain it is like the things your luggage are on at the airports when you're waiting for your luggage that can go around corners and stuff, because it's not going to be a straight conveyor belt apparently. No. Apparently it's going to be a conveyor system, like I said, kind of like the ones that you see like your luggage on that have the hinges so it can turn and it can go around corners and that sort of thing. And then obviously here's a brief little breakdown of the attraction. It'll transport guests to VillainCon, the biggest criminal convention on the planet, to take part in an epic competition to see if they have what it takes to become the newest member of the Vicious Six.
If you remember in the first movie, VillainCon did take place in Orlando.
Yeah, because aren't the Minions like on their way to Florida or something for Minion or something? Yeah,
it takes place in pre-Disney World Orlando of all places.
Yep. Where'd I leave off? Vicious Six, a notorious group of supervillains from the hit film Minions: The Rise of Gru. Guests who are up for the challenge will grab an interactive blaster and step onto a motion-based pathway to put their skills to the test. They'll wind and glide through various scenes where they'll earn points by blasting a variety of items and causing much mayhem and destruction as possible.
My whole thing is wondering with like the whole moving walkway, is there still going to be like sort of like, you're going to be standing, but are there going to be like barriers for like each group that there's sort of at least like that keeps you from,
Oh, you mean like some sort of way to separate the group so you're not like blasting the people in front of you
or like walking past them
or walking past them.
It's going to be
interesting. The moving walkway exit is approaching. Please watch your step.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this all works, because it's definitely using I don't think there's any other attraction I can think of that has anything like this.
Well, here's the other thing that I had. This, you're not going to be. It's not going to be a ride where you get in a vehicle. You're going to get the blaster gun. I was trying to brainstorm how these blasters going to be attached to the conveyor belt?
I'm wondering if the wireless. I've got to imagine they're wireless. They probably wireless. They hand them you grab them like you do a pair of 3D glasses.
Yeah.
And then when you return them back in, they probably they either go on a charging rack or who knows what. Because you've got stuff now where you can charge stuff so quick.
Yeah.
I
was trying to brainstorm how the blasters are going to work, if they're going to be attached to by like a cord on the conveyor belt, or I don't see how that would work though, unless it's a continuous loop. I was trying to brainstorm on how that was going to work. But this wasn't the only news to come out of this announcement. We also got confirmation, this little paragraph in our article, VinionCon Minion Blast will open in summer 2023 at studios within the new Minion Land on Illumination Avenue. So it seems like that whole area, you got Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem. You're going to have Minion Blast. And we also got confirmation, you can see here in our article, a new Minion Cafe. And then it says, and other surprises inspired by popular characters from Illumination's blockbuster franchises.
Which, I mean, Minion Cafe is at Hollywood and I believe in Universal Studios Japan.
Yeah.
To give you an idea, Hollywood's menu is like a lot of grilled cheese. Grilled cheese with tomato soup, meatball Parmesan grilled cheese, pulled pork grilled cheese.
Yeah.
Chicken bacon ranch mac and cheese.
And there's a lot of people that say it's actually pretty good food. I mean, it's grilled cheese and stuff like that, but it's actually really good.
I mean, it's not. I don't think it'll be out at. It's pretty much a spin on classics, and of course, the one in Hollywood has chicken tenders, and then there's like all kinds of desserts from Minion cookies, unicorn cupcakes, bunch of different types of specialty beverages.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love if it had, more of the out there type stuff that Japan has, but we know that never is going to happen here.
No. That's my hope. I'm gonna kind of go off topic here, but with Super Nintendo World, I hope we get Japan's menu with Super Nintendo World.
Well, I guess we'll sort of find out when it opens in Hollywood.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I'm excited for this. It'll be a fun little ride, and apparently, allegedly, rumor is that this thing is only going to take up so much space. They're still going to have room to build the HHN house that used to be in the Shrek building. This ride isn't going to apparently take up that much room, so we'll have to see if that's
I'm sorry, Japan does not have a Minion Cafe. They have a bunch of like Minion little fast food things. Maybe Singapore's getting one because they're getting Minion Mayhem.
Yeah. So
or they've gotten Minion Mayhem's open. I can't remember off the top of my head.
All right.
No, I mean, we're getting a Monsters Land in the other park.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people are still upset about Monsters Cafe going away, but I will once again say, whenever it was open, it wasn't busy.
It was another one of those things where it people didn't miss it until it was gone. It was a hangout place for. It was a hangout place for Halloween Horror Nights. People gathered there for whatever reason at Halloween Horror Nights. But beyond that,
usually weren't buying food when they were there.
It was more or less a hangout place. So I'm all for it as long as they refresh the menu and it's good food. Minions are huge. I know not everybody likes Minions, but they're huge. They're huge money makers for Universal.
They are the biggest thing Universal has right now as far as family-friendly stuff. And I mean, there's a reason, there's multiple Minions movies on top of the Despicable Me movies, and I'm sure, as far as I know, there'll be another Despicable Me movie coming up because look how much money Minions Rise of Gru made.
Yep.
So it's like it's like it's not going away as long as it's making $750 to almost $1 billion a film.
Yep.
It isn't going anywhere, and you just walk around the park, you see how much Minions merchandise they sell every single day.
Oh yeah, I see.
And
with the kids,
just based
look
on
at the kids.
one.
Just bounce your eyes between the kids. And
it gives them. We're the only park that doesn't really have a Minions Illumination Land. So it gives that area that, and it helps sort of revitalize that area.
That's the other thing too.
Shrek wasn't really pulling in the numbers anymore.
That whole the whole front area of Universal Studios has always been really weird. It's never been a really Central. Production Central's never been a really, for it being the first thing you see when you come into the park. It's always been kind of lackluster.
Well, it's always been the weird thing with Universal, the way they did it, where they basically there's two entrances into the park. You can either go down Hollywood Boulevard.
You can kind of V off and go,
or you can V off and go the other way. Whether that was changed, I've always wanted to know if that idea changed once, because remember, Disney MGM ended up opening before
Yeah.
Universal Studios Florida, and of course at MGM now Hollywood Studios, you walk down Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
So I always wondered if the original plan was you were just going to walk down Hollywood Boulevard, or if it was always going to be that way.
That kind of, yeah, the round. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
at the
know.
time, it might have made sense. Production Central was where, the Hanna-Barbera ride was, the Alfred Hitchcock
The Alfred Hitchcock show, which was amazing.
show, the Murder She Wrote sound, Foley thing. So it used to sort of have, that sort of was why it was called Production Central.
Yeah.
And I think also what didn't the very short-lived studio tour, I think you started on it somewhere there, I think. People forget that there was an actual tram tour. Didn't last long. But there was one.
I went on it
at that park.
Yep. So, all right, moving on here. Let's keep on moving on. We're gonna talk some theme park politics for a minute, which we don't do a whole lot, because this was actually really big news, and we weren't able to talk about it last week because we talked about Barry's Disneyland trip. Chapek out, Iger is back. This was huge. I don't know where you were when this dropped. When I posted the news, when I posted the news on ThrillGeek, I still couldn't believe it was happening. I thought I was in some kind of a fever dream or something, and that this was announced that Iger was back as CEO and Chapek was out. So
it was on a Sunday night. It was It was
It was like when Universal. It was like when Universal announced the Kid Zone land closing. It was like a random night at like 9 o'clock at 9 o'clock at night. That Iger is back and Chapek is out. So I have this New York Times article up here, going over kind of some of the stuff that that happened, and apparently it happened quick.
Yeah.
From what I was reading, this wasn't a long drawn out process.
He
apparently
was asked on Friday, I think.
Yeah. And this little bit was interesting. It says this again is the New York Times. In recent months, Mr. Iger has made no secret of his extreme disappointment with Mr. Chapek, telling people close to him that he was, quote, devastated by the downward direction that Disney had taken and that it felt Disney was losing its soul. And then, obviously with COVID and everything, Iger delayed his retirement from Disney 3 times. And apparently, according to the New York Times, seemed reluctant to leave the company when he did. And then Iger said in a statement, he's extremely optimistic for the future of this great company and thrilled to be asked by the board to return as CEO. Mr. Chapek did not respond to requests for comment. It says in this article.
I mean, I look at it this way. He was asked on a Friday. They apparently had made the decision to get rid of Chapek.
Yeah.
I think it came down to because he's not getting paid that much for coming back. I think it came down to the fact that he made a huge, gigantic mistake. And
yeah,
and he doesn't want his legacy tarnished.
Yeah.
And so he's got now 2 years to sort of right the ship and get someone get this company into the hands of someone who understands how to work with creatives, because apparently that seems to be one of Chapek's biggest issues is some of the things they did took control away from even someone as big as Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
Lost some of the control he normally has, especially as we saw this past year over marketing for Marvel films, where they how they spoiled so much of Doctor Strange.
Oh, with the trailers and everything, yeah.
Right before the movie came out.
Yeah.
And you notice things were a little bit different by the time, later in the year, with some of them, with She-Hulk and especially with Wakanda Forever, there wasn't as much revealed. As because I think he made his anger very public, which he normally does not do, about how he was disappointed.
Yeah.
And personally, after this year and after seeing what clearly has happened with Strange World, some people in marketing need to be fired.
Yeah.
Because they also did a horrible job marketing Lightyear too.
Yeah, there was little the marketing for Strange World was non-existent. Like I had people
like it was on purpose.
Yeah, it flew so under the radar that I was not shocked at all when it bombed in the box office.
Oh,
and now we found out that it's coming to Disney Plus on December 23rd, I think.
Yeah, shock, surprise.
So
Sin. I told Sin that. Oh, we were watching something on Disney Plus. It's like, oh, look, Strange World's coming out December 23rd. She's like, is that in theaters already?
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't even know it was in theaters.
Yeah, there were a lot of people that were like, oh, that's coming out. I mean, there were people that heard it. There were a lot of people that had heard about the movie, but there were also people that were like, they didn't know anything about it. Like, it was just marketed really bad. I want to see it. It looks like a really cool movie. The hype wasn't there. Like, even some of my close friends who are like hardcore Disney people were like, Strange World, Like, just it wasn't Raya was marketed really well, and that had a lot of hype behind it. But there was just something about the way they, or lack thereof, they marketed this Strange World movie. It just didn't click.
No, and we've talked on here before about the fact, releasing basically 3 Pixar films in a row onto Disney Plus may have helped has really devalued not just Pixar but Disney animation overall, because Universal doesn't seem to be having any problems. Albeit Minions made a huge amount. Bad Guys didn't make it as much, but it did well enough. And when people have seen a bunch of animated films released directly to Disney Plus, or stuff showing up on Disney Plus 30 days after it's been out in the theaters, then why would they go to the movie theater when they can just wait?
I'll be very curious to see if this Strange World takes off, because that's exactly what they did with Encanto. Because Encanto came out in the pandemic-ish area still, and it came out on Disney Plus, and it's a huge hit now.
Technically, Encanto bombed
at
the box office. It didn't bomb as much as this. I think worldwide, it made its budget back worldwide.
I know, but what I'm saying is the hype got out there.
Yeah.
How good of a movie it was. It built up. It came to fruition that it was a really good movie. So I'm wondering if that's what'll happen with Strange World when it comes to Disney Plus on the 23rd.
I will say, though, at least Encanto had some merchandise. Strange World has virtually no merchandise. It barely had any presence in the parks at all.
Yeah.
There was, like, in California Adventure, there was one like little photo op on their Hollywood Boulevard for Strange World. But
this last paragraph in the New York Times article is pretty funny. I have to read it. All the while, some of Disney's most dedicated theme park customers have been growing indignant over price increases they see as nickel and diming. This summer, Disney told investors that theme park profits would have been even higher if not for an, quote, unfavorable attendance mix at Disney World, which annual pass holders took as an affront. T-shirt, mugs, and stickers began selling online bearing the word unfavorables in Disney's signature calligraphy. Oh, gosh. So
here's the thing, and I know people are excited that Iger's back, but the parks are the least of his problems.
Yeah. The big talk is, making Disney Plus profitable.
No, I mean it's there's been other articles I think, and I can't remember if they mentioned the New York Times that Chapek may have also shifted some of the numbers around um, to make Disney Plus's losses not look as
Not
bad.
look so bad.
Yeah, even though it continues to lose money, which even though they stated that it would, and there's been a big course correction when it comes to streaming. I mean, we're seeing Netflix cut back. We're seeing the crazy stuff that's going on with Warner Brothers Discovery and then pulling shows off of HBO Max.
Yeah, because they
Which
just did that for Westworld, didn't they?
yeah,
Which
there
was crazy.
it's crazy because the whole point of streaming service is to have a library, and I know we whine about Disney Plus, but it's maybe that hopefully that's one thing one thing Disney Plus I want Iger to do is they still don't have so much of the library on Disney Plus.
Like older Disney movies and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's so much older Disney movies, older Wonderful World of Disney stuff. Um,
And
I
that
mean,
was
we're still waiting for House of Mouse to show up.
that was kind of
There's
I think we talked about this like even before Disney Plus came out back when we had the podcast. Like
yeah.
one of the big things that everybody was excited for Disney Plus was the potential of all this older stuff being thrown on there.
Yeah, not even the older Disney Channel stuff. There's a ton of that's not on there. And,
yep.
And I mean, it's in a lot of old park specials and stuff like that. It's all this stuff that's in the vault at Disney should be on there.
Yeah.
They've got a gigantic library, and then they have an even bigger one now with the Fox library, which that was the whole reason they bought Fox was for the library.
Yeah.
I mean, albeit some of it is tied up in other deals. Sorry, there goes Dexter again.
Doggy.
But I mean, Disney Plus can bulk up their library even more. And I feel like, I wish they would stop dragging their feet about that. I think you might see a cutback in some of the programming because they're going to need to cut money somewhere. I don't think you're going to see them slow down any Star Wars stuff, but I could see them slowing down some of the more straight up original stuff.
Yeah.
Even though it looks like we're getting another Witch Mountain. This will be Witch Mountain number, I don't know, 3 or 4 version of Witch.
Are you serious? I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, that was just announced that they're developing a Witch Mountain.
That's funny.
But they've still got besides Star Wars, they still got a bunch of big things. Percy Jackson. Will that only end up getting one season because they scale back the money? Or
I haven't really been.
If it's a big enough hit, I think it'll get another season. But like some of this other stuff,
I haven't been paying attention to Willow. I haven't been seeing how that's been doing.
Yeah, I haven't watched Willow yet because Sin still needs to watch the original movie, and and we're in the middle of speaking of Netflix, we're in the middle of watching Wednesday right now, and that's been pretty good so far. But no, I mean, I think Iger has got a lot of stuff on the creative end, on just I think they need to really start sticking fast and hard. Go back to originally it was supposed to be 90 days before stuff would come up on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And it seems like even though Universal, albeit Peacock's not as big, even though Universal is sometimes shortening windows for stuff, it doesn't seem to be hurting them as much.
Yeah.
And it seems like with Disney, and I don't know if it's because a lot of the family-friendly stuff, their theatrical is hurting more because people are just waiting.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
Why should I go see Lightyear?
And it's easier for parents.
45, 60 days, it's going to be out.
Yeah, and it's coming from a parent of 3 kids. It's easier and it's cheaper to wait for it. I mean,
whereas
let's be real here.
Some of the stuff like with Universal, like I said, sometimes they shorten the window, but I think with Minions, they've still waited 3 months.
Yeah,
to put it on Peacock, and then in Paramount Plus's case, they waited even way longer to put Top Gun Maverick Paramount. It just came on Paramount.
Because that movie just ranking in the dough because it's the best movie of the. I don't know. Pandora's gonna probably knock it off its throne though. I don't know.
So it's I think he's got a lot of stuff on the movie streaming side that I think he's going to be more focused on. I could see him changing a few things in the parks. There is the worry that at least some of the things we've heard from some people that bookings are down for the spring.
What was really interesting was I forgot where. Oh, it was the town hall that he did.
Yeah.
With cast members, and it was really. I don't know if he was just playing the. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, the park reservation stuff.
But he seemed so out of touch with like this. The park reservation system.
No, it was very much I don't know. I'm not fully sure what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I will look into answer.
Yeah, I don't know if he was just playing the safe PR card of like I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know about this reservation system.
I think what he will see is we've heard rumors that there have been people on the Disney does a lot of research, and there have been certain people who have been almost sort of silenced by Chapek and Chapek's lieutenant, I forgot his name. He was let go too.
Yeah,
the guy who was sort of overseeing all this. They've been warning them that the guest feedback has not been good.
Yeah,
like bad. Like they've been getting really bad feedback. Like people saying they're not coming back. And just
it's become. I mean, I don't know how they can simplify it, but it's become a chore to plan a Disney World vacation, and
it's not even a chore. It's we talked last week Disneyland of having Lightning Lane, and you're constantly on your phone.
Yeah.
Sorry. What are you doing? You stuck now?
Moving around there. Goodness, we've been talking for an hour. We got to get moving here.
But I think we'll see some changes in the parks because like I said, I think he's going to get some of the feedback. We'll see if Tomorrow survives all this.
Yeah, he hasn't been let go yet, so he's still. There was him and Iger were caught at Disneyland walking around saying hi to guests and everything.
Yeah, the day of the first day of the Candlelight Processional there.
Yeah, so he was.
Which I mean, the CEO is usually there for that anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I think he realizes he made a mistake, and which is interesting because we all didn't think that this was going to go well anyway.
Yeah. No, like I said when we started talking about this was a shock to.
Iger may not have been like he started as a weatherman. He may have not been a creative, but he knew.
He understood.
How to let the creatives do their thing.
Yeah.
They have a budget. But you stay out of their way and let them do their thing. And you have people in charge of those areas. Like you can knock Kathleen Kennedy all you want, but look how well Star Wars is doing on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I think she whatever mistakes may have been made with the new trilogy, she's definitely learned them. And it's not like she isn't one of the most successful film producers of all time. Feige, you can sit there and say, "Oh, well, Marvel's not doing as well." Well, nobody's is doing as well at the movies, but Marvel continues to make pretty good content, pretty good films and the TV shows, and people can talk about how this phase was sort of a transition, and yeah, it was. But boy, things are going to kick into high gear next year.
Yeah, Ant-Man Quantumania already looks pretty crazy, so it looks like they're going to kick things off next year with Phase.
Things are
Excuse me.
Things are really going to kick off next year, and I think we're in for a wild ride the next few years with Marvel. I mean, if those two Avengers movies, I mean, I'm excited, and we're still a couple years, 2.5 years away. I mean, it's like it's like just the possibilities of like who could show up in a multiversal world.
Yeah.
Everybody.
All right, let's get back on topic here. Let's move on. Let's wrap this up. We're getting on a tangent here.
Yes.
Really quick. Speaking of, I can kind of tie Iger into this piece because apparently James Cameron approached Iger about adding Avatar: The Way of Water scenes to Flight of Passage at Animal Kingdom, which has been discussed a lot about adding new scenes to it. I have that. Or I don't have that up on the screen now, but I do have an article up talking about that. That James Cameron, I guess, when he saw that Chapek left and Iger was back, Cameron went to Iger and said, "Hey, we can make scenes for Flight of Passage, featuring the Way of Water. Areas."
I mean, I am all for that. My biggest complaint to this day with Flight of Passage is that it's the same exact thing every time, and in this day and age with simulators, I just think that's
kind of what I mentioned on the article when I did it. Is it would be really cool if they could do something like Star Tours, where given Star Tours, you go to like 2 or 3 different areas, but if they could make separate, I don't know if it would be too much of a feat to do,
or even if you
a
ride
couple of different movies for the ride. There's just like 2 or 3. Randomize it. But they also announced, this is what I have up here on the screen now, what we're moving on to, a Tree of Life Awakening show inspired by Pandora, the World of Avatar, is now playing at the park. I think it debuted yesterday or Monday.
No, last night. Monday.
Yeah, it was last night that it debuted. So that's going on now. And they also announced some food.
We got blue noodles.
Yeah, you got the blue noodles here, which everybody wanted in Star Wars land because of when they showed up in Andor, didn't they? Or no, Mandalorian.
I
think it was Mandalorian that the blue noodles showed up in. But they have a mousse that's available. It's a flourless chocolate cake with chocolate mousse decorated with raspberry jelly, mango. I don't even know what this stuff is. Coulis. Boba pearls, and finished off with a milk and chocolate garnish, which is that up there. And then the colorful ocean moon bowl is made of tuna, blue noodles, watermelon, radish, pickled, is that daikon? Rainbow carrots, avocado, cucumbers, and red cabbage with a miso and sweet soy drizzle. And then they have the new, I don't even know how to say that, Lou. Is that Ilu? Splash Margarita, which is a mix of kiwi, Monin syrup with lime juice, sour mix, tequila blanco, and a floating slice of kiwi. So a few little additions inspired by Pandora.
And that's on top of all the new merchandise they've had in the gift shop.
Yeah, there's a whole, I think I did an article on all the new Avatar: The Way of Water merchandise that's available at both Disneyland and Animal Kingdom as well. So yeah, be sure to check that out if you're heading to the park. They don't show any clips of it in this video, I think.
So
yeah, they just show Avatar and stuff. So all right, moving on. Last but not least, theme park news here. Disneyland After Dark returns next year with a new Princess Night event. They will be featured. That'll be March 7th and 9th. And then Sweetheart Nights will be will be returning. And do I have the dates for that? Yeah. Sweetheart Nights right here. January 31st, February 2nd, 5th, 7th, 9th, 14th, 16th at Disneyland Park. And then the new Princess Night event will feature a royal welcome at Disneyland train station featuring Princess Minnie Mouse and Princess Daisy Duck. A musical concert featuring Moana, Merida, and more. There will be a high-energy candy-themed dance party in Tomorrowland featuring Vanellope Von Sweets. Revel in Tiana's Southern hospitality and dance along in jazz music in New Orleans Square. There'll be specialty menu items throughout Disneyland Park available for purchase. Not included in your separate ticket.
No.
And then there'll be backdrops throughout the park inspired by Disney films like Beauty and the Beast, Princess Diaries, It's interesting. They're doing a backdrop of Princess Diaries, included with unlimited Disney Photo Pass digital photo downloads for that. And then they're going to little pre-admission. You can get into the park starting at 6 p.m.
Once again, Disneyland gets cool.
Disneyland gets all the cool stuff. And tickets for that are on sale now. December 12th. Limited number of tickets will be available for Magic Key holders on December 14th. So that's tomorrow? Yeah. Tickets will go on sale to the general public and are subject to availability. So, yeah, once again, Disneyland gets all the cool stuff. So, anyways, that's everything. I have theme park news. As far as pop culture news goes, as I said at the beginning of the stream, we got the trailer for what is it called? Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse. What'd you think of the trailer?
Half
of it's the first movie.
Half of it's the first movie, but the show. I hope it's not foreshadowing of him and his mom talking.
His mom's gonna die. Let's be honest here. After that heartfelt conversation he's having I was like, oh, his mom's gonna die. Thanks for just.
I think the biggest thing to come out of the trailer, you see Miles and Gwen together. You see a whole slew of Spider-Man.
Spider-Man Unlimited, baby.
Spider-Man Unlimited. Spider-Man 2099, I believe.
Yeah, he was in the teaser trailer. And then there's all sorts of other. I think I forgot who did it, but I think IGN did a what's the Spider-Man with like the paper bag over his head?
I don't know off the top of my head.
There's so many different.
Thing is they show Miles and Gwen being chased by all these different Spider-Man or Spider-Woman from different Spider, and almost what was like Gwen was like, or something along the lines, are we the bad guys, or something,
Yeah, the let me find it here. Give me a second. Okay, here it is. Here's the actual synopsis of the movie. Miles Morales returns for the next chapter of the Oscar-winning Spider-Verse saga, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. After reuniting with Gwen Stacy, Brooklyn's full-time friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is catapulted across the multiverse, where he encounters a team of spider people charged with protecting its very existence. But when the heroes clash on how to handle a new threat, Miles finds himself pitted against the other spiders and must redefine what it means to be a hero so he can save the people he loves most.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum. So there's the official synopsis of the movie. So
yeah, I'm excited. I mean, the first one is easily one of my favorite animated films, one of my favorite superhero movies. It's just so good. The use of the different styles of animation.
Here's the different Spider-Verses that IGN did this. They showed the Insomniac one from the video game, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Velocity Suit Spider-Man. Bombastic Bagman, which I don't know I don't know the story behind that. I'm gonna have to look that up some more. I don't quite understand what that one's from. And then there's manga Spider-Man, anime Spider-Man, apparently in the trailer. Spider Cop, Werewolf Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then there's Spider Woman.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man Zero. So yeah, that's just a few that IGN posted on their Twitter handle. So anyways, anything else we wanted to chat about before we wrap things up, or do we want to get on out of here? Because
I think that's it. And I just do want to show everyone, if you're wondering why my mic keeps moving and the computer keeps moving,
dog.
Dexter.
Dog.
This is Dexter right now.
Thanks.
Wrapped
Dexter.
up in cables and right next to the stand that the laptop's on.
Puppy dogs, gotta love them. I have screaming children. You have dogs.
Yes.
That I have to.
I have a 14-year-old old man.
Oh, Dexter. So, all right. Yeah, I think we're going to get on out of here. I think that pretty much covers everything up until next week, which we will be right back here once again. YouTube and Twitch channels doing our ThrillGeek This Week live stream. And I think next week, we're supposed to do it this week. But next week, we're going to be doing a kind of a
huge, giant end of the year
wrap up.
Well, we'll talk some of the big stories, some of our favorite, new attractions, our favorite movies, TV, everything from 2022.
Which will be a lot because my brain can't go back that far. So we need to start planning that now.
I sit there and think. Someone was like, "Oh yeah, the Batman. It came out in March." I was like, "Was it March? Was it only in March? It feels like it was 2 years ago."
I think it was. I think. I saw somebody talk about that on Twitter, and I was like, "Yeah, it came out in March."
Guardian, Cosmic Rewind feels like it's been open a year and a half.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Time is a bizarre thing right now.
Yeah.
I think COVID really 2020 threw me in this weird time space continuum or something to where
things move along much differently than they used to.
We're just getting older. I think that's all it is. We're just getting older.
Getting older and more anxiety ridden.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, Barry, tell everybody where they can follow you and where they can follow ThrillGeek Online and all that jazz.
Well, I am at Culture and Thrills on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. At ThrillGeek on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, facebook.com/ThrillGeek. Please like and follow our Facebook page, which for some reason people continue to do that. YouTube.com/ThrillGeek. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
People continue to do what?
People, it amazes me that people continue to follow us on Facebook.
Oh, our Facebook page, yeah.
Yeah, we post stuff on there, and it's like, oh well, Twitter is where we're usually the most active.
Yeah, I mean, I never gave up on the Facebook page. I still continue to post articles, and I haven't gone live on there in a while.
We haven't gone live on anything in a while.
Yeah, so sorry.
But, yes. Twitch.tv/ThrillGeek was our other home for our live streams. ThrillGeek.com for the latest in theme park and pop culture news. And you're watching ThrillGeek This Week. And you can also join our community on Discord.
Yeah, I changed our Discord join link to not expire. So feel free to join that whenever. I'm trying to brainstorm some ideas for doing maybe after we do this ThrillGeek This Week live stream of maybe doing an after party stream over on our Discord channel, just kind of a hangout over on Discord, start doing some more, make it more community kind of involved, because we can stream on there, or not stream, but there's the video chat channels. So, maybe we can get some other people to join in and, do that sort of thing. So I'm coming up with some ideas for that. But yeah, join our Discord server. We're having fun in there, chatting about whatever. I have all sorts of channels for everything: movies, theme parks, the cruise lines, everything. It's a pretty cool place to come hang out and chat with us. If you see ThrillGeek posting on there, that's me. I don't have I've been debating on making a login for Discord just for me, so I'm not posting as ThrillGeek. But it kind of started like that, and I've just stuck with it. So if you see ThrillGeek posting, which I think a lot of people have just assumed it's me, but maybe I'll eventually get around to making my own personal Discord. It's just another thing that I have to make. And anyways. Yeah, so join our Discord server, and then, as Barry said, right here on Twitch and YouTube, twitch.tv/ThrillGeek. Make sure you're following us there on Twitch, and make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ThrillGeek. Barry's been posting all sorts of his Disneyland videos from Avengers Campus. I think the It's a Small World holiday video posted today. So be sure to go check out all that stuff. So, anyways, until next week, guys, be safe. We'll see you guys like right back here probably next week, same time, 8:30 Tuesday, 8:30 Eastern. I think. Yeah, Eastern. We're in Florida, right?
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. So, all right, guys, take care, be safe, and we'll see you guys next week.
Stay safe, and we'll see you in the parks.